Back at the naturopath from New Zealand. I've been asked this question a few times now, so I'm going to make a little video regarding it. How do I achieve the perfect hormonal balance? You know, how can I get my hormones floating along nicely all my life and have them functioning really well? Well, you might be shocked to know that so far they've discovered almost 200 different hormones in the human body. Even vitamin D is considered a hormone now. So to achieve like the perfect balance is impossible, right? You've got to show me the perfect human first. There is no such thing as perfect human, okay? Because we're human, we're not perfect. That's the thing. So we live in times that are constantly changing. We live in temperatures that are constantly changing. We live with foods that are constantly changing. We live with lifestyles, with relationships. Everything about us is constantly in a state of change. So it's hard to try and get perfection when there's so much change going on. I've written a few points down though that will make it easy for me to communicate to you what I think are some of the key things to achieve a nice level of hormones throughout your life. And that will mean that the moods are more stable, the cognition will work better, your sex drive will be good, you won't age too fast. So remember, everything about you is hormonally controlled. These are chemical messengers that can evoke incredible responses in our body. Now, these hormones themselves are actually produced, okay, from various things that we need to consume in our body. So having, for example, a good level of omega-3 or fish fats in your diet, very smart move, okay? Having sufficient proteins in your diet, which also help to make up hormones, smart move. Eating fish, eating eggs, or eating legumes, eating nuts and beans and grains and many different foods are going to really help you to build and balance a good hormonal level. I think one of the most important ones though is stress. I've beaten this drum so many times on this channel, but the stress is the big one. If you can't get a handle on stress, if you can't understand that connection between stress and hormones, you need to switch off this channel now, because you won't really understand most of the stuff I'm trying to say, right? I haven't even begun to talk about adrenal health and about pituitary health and about how other glands are really affected by eating and by living. And that's part of what I want to do this year, as well as go more into the stress angle. But stress screws people up, it kills people, and it does it very, very slowly and over a prolonged period of time. It's the key thing I've seen in my clinic that undermines people's health, more so than crappy food, is crappy lifestyle and high stress lifestyles. I don't care how much money people have got or how well they eat or how good they look. If they're living a shitty, crappy, stressful lifestyle, that's what I don't like. All right. So stress, basically, it crosses all borders, all genders, all ages, all types of income levels, education levels, everything. We're all subject to it, but that's the key thing to control if you want the hormonal balance good. The key thing is to work out where these stresses are coming from. It's got to be managed. If you can manage that, okay, then the hormones are going to manage you in a really horrible way, and you won't like it. You won't like it, especially if you're my age and you're female. You know, you could be like early to mid 50s, late 50s, and you may be going through hell on earth if your hormones aren't balanced properly. I've seen the same with males. All right. The second point is sleep. Getting plenty of sleep. Very important for building good hormonal levels as good sleep patterns. You will never ever get good hormonal pattern if the sleep is hit and miss, if you're sleeping 2 hours a night or sleeping terribly. And of course, when the hormonal patterns become unbalanced, you start getting weight issues, appetite issues, mood issues, libido issues, you can't think properly, you start getting all sorts of issues. So the sleep is number 2. All right. Number 3 is exercise. So by moving your body more, it'll allow your body more easily, particularly with high estrogen, to modulate that estrogen more effectively, break it down, and then reutilize some of those components and excrete the waste more effectively. So exercise always improves females, I find. It's the key thing I found in the clinic for women 40s, 50s who want to look sexy, feel sexy, and look fantastic, especially as they get older, is exercise. It's not creams on your face. It's not bigger boobs or bigger, fish lips or stuff like that. It's exercise. It's sleep. It's low stress. This is going to make you look beautiful when you get to your 60s and 70s. You'll still look great. I've seen some patients undergo massive stress and age 10 years in 6 months just on their face. Some people have truly shocked my wife and I when they came into our clinic. We hadn't seen them for 6 or 12 months. They underwent a divorce or a stress, and in some of these cases didn't even recognize that person had aged so much. So just be careful, right? Protein, number 4. Lots of protein. So good quality proteins in your diet. Fish proteins, chicken proteins, egg proteins. Okay, I like soy. I still think soy is a valid food for 50, 60-year-old person. A very valid food, especially for males for good prostate health. So fatty fish, omega-3, low inflammation. Hormones also need omega-3 or fats. You'll function better. Okay, hormones are made from fats, all right? Sugar and carbs need to go. Okay, for young people maybe who are more energetic, but then you get older, especially when you want to get the hormones balanced really well, sugar, and you need to get rid of the sugar as much out of the diet as you can. Now for a younger girl who's got hormonal problem, she very much needs to look at sugar and alcohol and also stress. All right? So I hope you get a few of these ideas that I'm talking about regarding hormonal balance. But remember, stress is the big one. You've really got to get on top of that. That's the key thing. If you find yourself, say 40 or 50 years old, fallen flat, you just got no get up and go, someone's let all the air out of your tires, they're flat. Think about it. Think about what happened. Get your hormones checked. You may need to get also some salivary testing done. A very good test to get done, let me write it on paper for you. I've got some scrap paper lying there. Here, I'm going to write this test down for hormone testing. It's simple. You just have to think about Holland. It's called the Dutch test, okay? The Dutch test. Dried urine test comprehensive hormones. That's what it means, Dutch test. Now your naturopathic physician should be able to do that for you, or your doctor who has an understanding of hormonal testing. But that test is the Rolls Royce of hormone tests. Okay, it's a urine test. You can also do a salivary part urine, but that, in my opinion, is one of the best tests ever designed for checking a full spectrum of hormones out in both male or female. But particularly if you're female, and you say 40s or 50s, it's really worth doing the Dutch test. All right, that'll give you an idea what's gone wrong. It checks all the stress hormones out and all the sex hormones out, even melatonin, so it's worth doing. Get onto it. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.